Woman was God's second mistake. This infamous quote by Nietzsche strikes like a thunderbolt, but its philosophical roots lie deeper, in the mind of his mentor, Arthur Schopenhauer. To explore this statement is not merely to encounter misogyny, but to dive into a worldview steeped in despair, determinism, and a ruthless critique of life itself. Understanding Schopenhauer's view of women requires us to first understand his philosophy, especially the concept of the will to live. For Schopenhauer, the universe isn't rational, divine, or peaceful. It's driven by a blind, unconscious force he called the will, an insatiable drive that compels all living beings to survive, reproduce, and repeat the cycle endlessly. Everything we call freedom, choice, or logic is, in his view, an illusion. Our emotions, ambitions, and desires are merely tools the will uses to perpetuate life. We are not autonomous agents, we are instruments in nature's relentless machine. From this perspective, Schopenhauer offers a stark view of life, a pendulum swinging between pain and boredom. We suffer when we desire something we lack, and when we get it, joy fades quickly, replaced by restlessness. The will gives us just enough illusion of happiness to keep us trapped in its game. And in this grim theater, the roles of men and women are not equal, they are biologically and metaphysically distinct. In his controversial essay on women, Schopenhauer claimed women are the purest expressions of the will. Their nature, in his eyes, is entirely aligned with biological imperatives, reproduction, nurturing, and survival. He described them as more instinctive, present-focused, and emotionally driven than men. But he did not frame this as personal hatred, instead, it was a diagnosis. Women, for Schopenhauer, were not defective men but highly adapted instruments of nature's core function, continuation of the species. Men, on the other hand, represent a rare chance to rebel against the will. While women are grounded in life's affirmation, caring for children, managing homes, and ensuring continuity, men are capable of renunciation. They may sacrifice their comforts and even their lives in pursuit of abstract ideals, truth, honor, art, or philosophy. In these moments, Schopenhauer saw man's sacred madness, the possibility of escape from nature's tyranny. This distinction extends into love, which Schopenhauer saw not as a divine connection but as the will's most seductive trick. In the metaphysics of sexual love, he argued that romantic passion is not a conscious choice, but the species manipulating individuals for genetic continuity. We think we fall in love for beauty or character, but we are drawn, unconsciously, to traits signaling reproductive success. Once reproduction is secured, the illusion fades, revealing the transactional nature of most relationships. This is where Schopenhauer's vision becomes both uncomfortable and oddly familiar. He saw women as intuitively understanding their power lies in the sexual desire they inspire. Their charm, vulnerability, and flirtation are instinctive tools to secure a provider. Marriage, then, is not a spiritual union but a biological contract. The woman secures resources, the man unknowingly sacrifices himself to the will. While offensive and reductive to many, these claims echo real patterns. We see men abandoning dreams, redirecting their lives under the spell of romance, only to find the fire that once defined their masculinity diminished in the stability of domestic life. Schopenhauer believed such men lose the very traits that once attracted their partners: independence, ambition, and mystery, and in doing so, lose their partner's respect. Yet to fully understand this bitterness, we must look at the man behind the theory. Schopenhauer's relationship with his mother, Johanna, was fraught. A brilliant novelist and socialite, she was emotionally distant and critical of her son. Their strained relationship likely seeded his negative views, making his philosophical critique also a deeply personal wound dressed in intellectual robes. At his core, Schopenhauer didn't just criticize women, he feared them. To him, they embodied life's seductive force, the face of the biological trap he spent his life trying to escape. A man could discipline himself, build logical systems, even seek spiritual transcendence, but one encounter with feminine beauty, and reason could collapse. Desire, not violence, was woman's most dangerous power. But this is not a call to fear women or reject love. It's a deeper warning, to understand our instincts, not be ruled by them. A wise man doesn't suppress his desires, but recognizes them for what they are, tools of the will. He can love a woman deeply, but not from emptiness. He must invite her into his journey, not abandon his path to walk hers. In the end, Schopenhauer's philosophy is not a call to hatred, but to awareness. It's a challenge to build a life grounded in purpose, one so strong that no storm of passion can shake it. It urges us to examine whether our desires are truly ours or echoes of a deeper, biological script. And in doing so, perhaps find a form of love not driven by need or instinct, but by choice. If we dare to look into this mirror, we may not like everything we see. But we might walk away stronger, more conscious, and more centered in ourselves.